What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate you tuning in today. We're back here in my 2006 Nissan 350z, and we drove over to this local park. I actually wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about something. I've been reading the comments, and a lot of people have been asking me about higher mileage 350zs, and if you should necessarily stay away from them and look for a lower mileage one around 120k miles or less. Pretty much in this video, I'll be explaining things that you should look for with high mileage Zs, and if you should stay away from them, or if they're gonna be a good option for you. So let's get into it. So as you look online, it seems like more and more every single day, higher mileage Zs show up. This is because it's true. These cars love to be driven and people love driving them, so they do tend to go up in mileage pretty quickly. Now I've got my book right here. I've written down some information I found online. My 350Z only has 83k miles on it, so I don't necessarily have a lot of the issues some of the higher mileage 350Zs go through. But I actually did find an article online where there's a whole bunch of people talking about their mileage of their cars and what they've had to replace. So I'm basically going to be flashing those up on the screen as we go through this video so you can read them as well while we talk about this. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a confidence booster. So pretty much if you've been online lately, you've noticed on OfferUp or Craigslist that 350Zs have pretty much gone through the roof. You seriously can't find them for less than pretty much 8,000 in running condition. There are some that don't run for like 4,000 to 5,000, but I remember just a few years ago when you could find these cars running for between 3 and 5 grand. So it's crazy to watch the car market do what it's doing right now, but I don't think it's gonna last very long. I'm assuming these cars are gonna come back down a little bit just so more people can attain them. Honestly, right now, they're pretty hard to get your hands on. So because lately they've been going for so much more, you might be forced to buy a higher mileage example of one, and this can kind of be scary sometimes or intimidating just because you don't know exactly what maintenance they've done or how well they've taken care of it or if they've beaten on the car at all. These cars are meant to be driven and people love driving them to their fullest extent, so you can pretty much guarantee that these cars have all been driven the way they were meant to be driven at least once in their life. But the nice thing is these cars were built to be driven that way. So a lot of the issues that you have in these cars are stuff that I'm not going to say they expected to go bad, but they're things that are really simple to fix, and basically Nissan did a great job of putting money where it matters in this car and not cheaping out on the stuff that you desperately need to have a car that runs. So I actually saw a quote online and I had to write it down right here, and it was buy on condition, not on mileage, just because some people maintain their cars really well and do all proper maintenance when it should be done. So mileage is not always a perfect indicator of how the car's life has been, but it is a good place to start, I'm not gonna lie. Some people drive freeway miles, which when you compare freeway miles to city miles, I mean, freeway miles are gonna be a lot better on a car just because you're holding a speed, you're maintaining that speed the whole time, versus in a city, you're constantly braking and having to accelerate and stuff. So, and that's why it's always good to ask as many questions as you can and really test the owner of the car. See if they have any receipts for anything they've done. I'm talking even oil change receipts, because if they save those oil change receipts, they're probably gonna save higher, more expensive maintenance receipts as well. And if they don't have those receipts, they probably haven't done the maintenance yet. So just something to remember when you're looking at these cars. So as I've been talking about this, you've probably read a few of these up here, and it's a really good sign to know that these cars are definitely going into the higher 250k mile range. I did notice one thing in common about a lot of these comments is that the people that did have to do clutch changes, they lasted about 150,000 miles. So you can pretty much guarantee you'll probably need to replace the clutch at least one time on your way to 250,000 miles, and then maybe sometime again above that. Another thing is these cars do have some transmission issues once they get a little higher in the mileage. The nice thing I did learn is that the CD009 transmission that's in the 2003 to 2006 350Z and some of the G35s is actually really strong and is one of the higher upgraded transmissions from Nissan at the time. So it seems that if you're not just money shifting and flat foot shifting into every gear, you're probably gonna have, your transmission's probably gonna last a pretty long time. And luckily, if you do for some reason need to change your transmission, I did see 1 or 2 people say that it's actually a really easy job to do. So you can even do it yourself at home, which is always awesome. Honestly, I'm really impressed to see how this car has done over time. I really haven't had to do very much maintenance on it whatsoever. I actually wrote everything down right here. In the last pretty much 2.5 years of owning this car, I've just had to change the thermostat. I did know the car was overheating one day and the thermostat was basically the answer. Tires is another thing I've had to do, which obviously everyone knows in a rear-wheel drive sports car, you're gonna be doing tires pretty often, but they're not that bad, honestly. So I add a lot of oil in this car because my car specifically just happens to burn quite a bit of oil. I think, honestly, I was doing a lot of research on this because I feel like it's burning a lot more oil than it used to, or even most other people's cars. So I don't know exactly why this is happening, but I think it's my PCV valve, which is the positive crankcase ventilation valve, Every 350Z has one, and actually the HR 350Z has two, and they're definitely supposed to be replaced every 30 or 40K miles, and it seriously takes like 5 minutes, so everyone should do it. Go on z1motorsport.com, buy the PCV valve for your 350Z, and put it in. It takes 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. Like, you'll be shocked at how fast it is. More on that to come. I get so distracted when I'm doing these videos, but that also relates to the catch can, so I might be doing that as well at the same time. So, like I said, I've had to do the fluids, which hasn't been very much, honestly. I had one coil pack I had to replace about 6 months ago. I made a video on that. I'll link it right here if you guys are experiencing a misfiring issue. That's probably it. And another thing is the spark plugs. I did those at the same time. Those didn't necessarily have to be replaced at the time, but I just did them anyways because I was recommended to do them. And I thought it was gonna fix the issue, but it actually did not fix the misfire issue. So I got new spark plugs, which is cool, but they do say you're supposed to do them every 60K miles. So just something to think about if you haven't done them yet. So honestly, I'm pretty impressed after seeing all these comments on this forum and reading through a bunch of stuff online, how the 350Z performs in the higher mileage. I definitely would not be opposed to buying one of these cars over 150 or 160K miles. Definitely over 200,000 miles, I would be definitely, I would be asking some questions. And, it's always smart to bring someone with you that knows a lot about cars. If you are purchasing something with a lot higher miles like that, probably save you a lot of money and time in the future. So let me know down below, how many miles does your 350Z have on it right now as we speak? Or if you're looking for a 350Z, what is your cutoff limit of how many miles is too many miles? Let me know in the comments below. My car, when I bought it, had 61,000 miles on it, which is extremely low, so I got super lucky. It has 83K miles on it right now, and like you heard earlier, I haven't had very many issues. And I'm hoping it's gonna continue this way for a very long time ahead. So I'll keep you guys updated if anything does happen. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Join the family. We just hit 3,700 subscribers, and all of the love on the most recent videos has been blowing me away. You guys are awesome. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. It really helps us out in the algorithm, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Oh yeah, oh yes. I'm so glad we're not in that Prius. Could you imagine? That was a little fast. Oh my God, this thing just... point and it goes. Really not too bad for how tight my suspension is either. Like, I'm assuming if I had better quality suspension, I mean, we would be even faster through here. I'm only on lowering springs, so I mean, it's really as tight as it could be. So, ooh, that's a big bump. So glad we don't have anyone in front of us. This is amazing. Third, let's go. Oh, no problem. Braking, braking, braking.